Hey, Alan Lott here. Hey, I was just thinking, I want to say something. It's kind of a physical fitness thing and kind of an emotional fitness thing. But hey, here's the deal. There's a lot of trend in today's world about judging ourselves with our past, right? And I'm not talking about our past. I'm talking about our ancestors' past. So let's say we take these ancestors that we knew, or that maybe you've done your genealogy and you know where your ancestors came from, and that generation and that particular culture made some mistakes in life, and you go, oh, well, they're stupid. Oh, I can't believe they did that. I'm embarrassed to be their descendant. And I'm like, you guys got to suck it up, man. Stop judging previous generations and cultures based on today's standards. Stop doing that. It doesn't make sense. Too many people say, well, if I was alive back then, I wouldn't have done that. You would too. You don't know what you would do. I like to think myself that my mind is open and I have a higher level of morality the way I perceive it today, and that I would make better choices should I live back in the olden times. And in reality, when we are engulfed with all that culture and all that community, and we start idolizing the people we put in charge, the truth is you're going to go with the crowd or go with the community, and maybe there's some things you'll step out. But the truth is, stop judging people based on the history. It's not fair. It's easy for us to armchair quarterback and go, well, that was wrong. And it was. In some cases, it's obviously wrong. It is absolutely wrong. And we can stand in somewhat of a judgment on them when we're looking at genocide and ethnical cleansing and stuff like that. Yes, we can definitely look back and say, that was bullshit. And that's fine. And we're good with that. But in reality, should you have been part of that culture, what would you have done? Well, you don't know. And thank God every day when you say your prayers, if that's who you pray to, that you weren't a person back then. Because imagine the burdens of those people that have to live with that or die with it or whatever. Anyway, not so much about that. But here's the thing. The other thing is this. We look at people back then and go, oh, like you look at these movies and these Irish cops and they're big thugs and they're like, man, those guys look pudgy. Well, that was the thing back then. Yeah, I mean, there were gyms and there were some guys that did some curls and stuff like that. But we judge our fitness based on them or judge their fitness based on us. That's not the way it worked, dude. And that was not, you got these corn-fed farm guys that could freaking lift up these wagons with wheels on it so their brother can throw on a new wheel. And we would never see them as these big burly muscle-headed, steroid-injected rage monsters. We wouldn't do that. They were just functionally freaking strong. And you got to think about this, because you look at the pioneers, especially the Mormon pioneers, because they kind of led the way in a lot of ways. You're talking about them moving from places like Missouri and walking all the way to Utah and sometimes California. Now think about the footwear those people used. You're talking about a piece of hard leather sole wrapped around leather thing. In some cases, they would wrap shirts or cloth around their feet to protect their feet. Other than that, they walked. And you could look at them and go, I could do that. Really? In the Marine Corps, we used to go on these things called conditioning hikes. Every conditioning hike, this is no joke. Every conditioning hike, whether it was a 3-mile conditioning hike or a 50-mile conditioning hike, yes, combat load, which was lighter than what they were carrying and a shorter distance than what they were carrying. Because their goal was to try to hit 20 miles a day. In most cases, when they were going to the mountains, sometimes they were lucky to get 3 miles a day. But in reality, 20 miles a day. Do a 20-mile hike with a ruck on your back and metal and the whole combat load on our today's shoes and see how your back, knees, hips, ankles, feet feel at the end of that, at the end of that 20 miler. I lost so many toenails over the years. Don't ask me why. My toenails would just fall off. Boom, 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 boom. Blisters that filled with blood. And I think to myself each time, how the hell did they do that? Not our normal physical fitness type idea, but it's true. Don't judge previous generations based on the knowledge of today's generation, culture, information. It's not fair. It's like giving you an algebra test and never teaching you algebra, but teaching your grandkids algebra and say, see how stupid your grandparents were? They didn't even know this. They were so stupid. How could they ever survive? Why do you do that? That's not fair. Anyway, that's my rant for today. Alan Lott out. Go to the gym, or at least do some push-ups.